Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Soaring Through Chaos. As we've said before, the purpose of this whole episode is we talk about the challenges that we all face in our life, especially during times of crisis, like what we are going through right now, the second wave of the pandemic. And here with me is a person that I got to know over the last 3 years, Nidhi Kamath, who, like all of us, have gone through her challenges. And she's the founder of Storyloom movies or Storyloom documentaries,
Films.
Storyloom
Yeah.
films. And let's hear the story from her. Tell us about yourself, Nidhi.
Hi everyone. My name is Nidhi and I am a South Indian but born and brought up in Gujarat. So, along with my friend Kia, we started our company called Story Room Films 7 years ago. And we mainly believe that if we lose a craft, we would lose a culture. So mainly, we've been making craft films we on like various crafts of India. So yeah, we've made until now 44 short films. So this is our professional journey so far.
And what inspired you to get into this? Were you always into videos, media from childhood, or how did you enter this field?
So I would say I have always had that creative flair, because in my school we had a lot of co-curricular activities. And I took part in a lot of them, like mask making competition, poster making competition. So I always loved coloring, drawing, and all the art and craft. So in 12th, 11th and 12th, I dropped maths and I taken fine arts because if not doctor, I thought I'll become a designer. So that was my goal, and that's how it began. And I went into a design school called Indian Institute of Craft and Design in Jaipur, and I accidentally became a filmmaker. Yeah.
Really? And I met you first at the Today I Learned sessions that were conducted in Baroda. And I just saw that you were talking about documentaries, filmmaking, which at the time I was peripherally interested in. Nobody knew at that time we would have a pandemic, that be sitting in front of Zoom for hours and creating these raw videos, if you will. But it was fascinating. I mean, when I first met you, I was expecting you to teach us how to use computers and basic things. But it was really nice to hear the variety of things that you and Kia have produced, from National Geographic videos to tell us about that. What was the journey like? Where did you start and how did you evolve into making all kinds of films?
So, as I told you, we were trained product designers, and in our fourth year, we have like a 6 month diploma project. So, I just happened to see BBC Story of India by Michael Woods, and there was this episode number 3 called Power of Ideas, and it was all about Banaras. So, back then, as a student, I was quite impulsive. I would take decision on how I would feel, intuitively. So I just felt like, wow, Banaras is so beautiful. I should go there. So I just wrote to a mentor of our seniors, Padma Shri Rahul Jain, and I asked him that, I want to do something in Banaras. So he said, why don't you make a film about the weavers in Banaras? So that would need two people. And it was a stroke of luck as well that, I asked my friend Kea that, if she was interested, and even she hadn't got her diploma project, it wasn't fixed yet. So then both of us joined. We went to Banaras for 4 months. We shot our first film there. And when the college ended, everyone was looking for a job. And then we realized that, product designing wasn't our calling because we genuinely enjoyed making this film in Banaras. So I think that's how we started, and we worked with a brand called Anantya. It's based out of Jaipur. We made 10 short films about crafts of Rajasthan. That's how, we built our portfolio. And after that, we went on making films for Good Earth, which is a very well-known home decor brand in India. So yeah, that's how work followed, and we continued making films.
Very, very interesting that you mentioned Banaras. My wife and I visited Banaras for the first time just before the pandemic, actually, in I think late January or early February. And what was interesting was that a friend of mine who was born and brought up in Varanasi, Benares, he he was in the he was in the paper industry, business development, marketing, and as you know, the industries have been changing. So I told Vinay, why don't you do something about Benares? I mean, so many of us want to visit, but we hear it's very chaotic and this and that. Why don't you create something like specialized tours like we have in Bangalore? And he said, but I'm an MBA types and would I fit in? I said, Vinay bhai, aap itna acha, you're so good at explaining things. Why don't you try? And he has become one of the, he has created like custom tours, like you were talking the weavers of Banaras.
Mm-hmm.
He even showed us some of the weavers and the Manikarnika Ghat, many other things, even the Pan Banarasi, the special Pan of Banaras, there are so many varieties. So it's created custom tours. So amazing to find that that inspired you. So Nidhi, people have this impression that once you do one successful thing, then it's a very smooth roll. How was your journey like in terms of you got into doing this video in Varanasi and then you did a series in Rajasthan. Was it a very
Mm-hmm.
smooth ride, or how did you end up doing what you're doing today?
So, like, it's impossible not to have any challenges, otherwise you'll be dead. Like, the only time you can't have challenges is when a person dies. So, similarly with us, we did have our challenges. And the only thing is that because, my very close friend Kia was my business partner, the ride was definitely smoother because, you have a like minded person as a business partner and a friend. So, it's not that you're alone or you're on the edge because you have someone together. So definitely that made a huge difference. And we did have a challenges. Initially, I remember how we used to make one email and send it to many companies, for work. So that ways we definitely had our own challenges, and like all the camera equipments is also pretty expensive. So it took us 4 years to buy a good 2 lakh rupee worth camera. So these are small struggles, like financially also, you have to have enough money for your own salaries and to pay the GSTs. So it is challenging, but I think when you love what you do, the challenges don't appear that difficult. You will strive to it because you love some doing that. So yeah, we did have our challenges, but we could sail through it.
And interestingly, what I found was you are right now in Baroda, in Gujarat, and Kea, correct me if I'm wrong, is in Rajasthan, is it Jaipur?
Yeah, Jaipur.
And
Yeah.
so, how do you work together when you're in different cities? And
Hmm. So, the first 4 years when we started our company, we were in the same city. So, we had a good work ethic and a good understanding in those 4 years. So, what we do is when we go for a shoot together, copy the same footage on two hard disks. And, if we have a film which has, let's say, 10 scenes in the script, we divide the work. Like, first 5K I would do, first 5 I'll do, and then we work on a software called Final Cut Pro, and we can share a file and which gets relinked because she has the same footage back in Jaipur. So that's how we do.
how about during the pandemic? There's so many restrictions now for travel, even between one state and another. How are you
Hmm.
able to manage to do? How are you able to manage to work? You cannot even go out to do shooting in under certain circumstances, right?
Yeah, so we were lucky that right before the lockdown, I think the lockdown started around 13th or 15th of March. And we just completed a shoot in Delhi on, I think, 6th or 8th of March. And we had shot for two more films, so we had a lot of footage to be edited. So we just completed two films and we have one more film. So I think till August we have a lot of work. And what strategy I have changed is that I'm finding for projects in Baroda, you know. So I wear a mask and I'm making a film for a fire tender manufacturing company, which is Baroda based. So that's how I'm planning my work, because I know that till this year end, I don't think we'll be able to travel, you know.
And
So
Kea would be working from Jaipur then for
yeah,
some time.
yeah. So we'll
And
have to find some local projects.
uh, uh, and tell us, what was it like working on this variety? You've done documentaries, you've done commercial films, you've done uh, Indian media, foreign media. What was your most interesting project so far?
Mm, so the recent one, which it is on YouTube. The newest film. It's called Tolu Bomlata. Is a leather shadow puppetry of Andhra Pradesh. So I think this last year it was one of the most like treasured film for me, because one, we went to Dharmavaram, and Chidambra Rao, who is the main artist, he's a national award winning artist, and he makes these legendary puppets of leather. So it was great to talk to him, and he is a great person in terms of the kind of vast knowledge he has. He shared so much with us, and the kind of love we received from him in Dharmavaram, that village. We had a great time, and one of the most memorable thing was that for a shoot, because we had to shoot the whole puppetry. So we went to his village called Nimal Kunta, and they just set up the entire stage for us to film. So we had our very, like, our own Swades moment back in the village, and that film has turned out to be really well. So that is one of my favorite projects.
And we will definitely share a link to that. It's open on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
given the situation we are in, millions of
Mm.
people are out of jobs, and also, the hardest thing is with people, little kids in schools and colleges and all, who don't even know when they'll graduate, and those who have graduated, they can't find a job and all that. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but looks like things like art and things like marketing and all seem to be taking a back seat given the seriousness of the chaos that we are in. We need basic food, basic thing. What advice would you give to people who are graduating now in terms of careers, especially those in artistic careers, creative careers? How should they approach their whole challenge of surviving during these
So
times, and how should they go ahead?
yeah, so I feel we should see this as an opportunity rather than a tragedy. Or I agree that definitely it's a pandemic, and it has had a massive toll on people's jobs, lives, and the economy. But again, one thing which is important is that we're never going to get so much of free time on our hands. you know it's a luxury. So to the young graduates, I would say, don't lose hope, because like everything, this too shall pass. It's not something which won't end. And Russia did its first human trial with the COVID vaccines. So I assume by at least next 21 January we would have some you know vaccines out there. So I would say that, people, like, we just hired an intern last month. So it's not that people are not hiring, you know. People are looking for interns. There are jobs available, remote jobs maybe. So maybe you should look for such jobs. And if not, I think people should use this time to kind of read books, or, learn a new skill. So, they should take this as a sabbatical to further enhance their skills and knowledge. So, if they see it in this way, it would be rather more empowering than, being under this burden that, oh, it's a pandemic.
You know what I just realized? I'm interviewing somebody who makes documentaries and videos, it just would not be right if we don't show some of your work. Maybe what I'll do
Yeah.
is I'll pause the video, and would you be open to sharing some of snippets from your
Yeah, sure.
videos? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So I'm going to pause it here. Wow, this looks fascinating. What is this?
The lush earth has a myriad of stories from Udaipur to unfold, and Dabu printing is one of them. Dabu originates from the Hindi word dabana, which means to press. It is an ancient mud-resist hand-block printing technique from Rajasthan, which can be traced back to 8th century AD. The traditional Dabu patterns reflect the deeply rooted, rich heritage and culture of Rajasthan. We create motifs that are fusioned with a tinge of modernity. The elaborate application of mud resist and dyes is done several times to get the desired base and motif colors. This process speaks volumes about the skill and years of experience of the craftsman. The identity of Dabu is color of the sky, blue. Avaran is known for its brilliant shades of indigo. They say that if you take something from the earth, you should give it back in abundance. Avaran is eco-benign and believes in empowering women by fashioning waste into delightful berries, themes, and bouquets. The journey of Avaran is a labor of pure love, which links traditions to modern beliefs, past to present, and crafts to skills, to design products which are truly a treasure to behold.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, wow, really interesting. And wow, and so you get to do this pretty much all around India, I guess, huh? Or have you also done videos and documentaries outside India so far?
No, that's definitely on our wish list, but till now we've covered things in India.
And how many places would you say you have visited? How many cultures? Because this is so necessary. I'm a big traveler, and over the last few years, I've traveled to 20 states, and there are these unknown tribal as well as indigenous arts which are vanishing because of globalization to a certain extent. And it's such, I mean, I'm so gratified that we are bringing, these things to light.
Thanks. Yeah, so I think we've covered 18 states till now, 8 in India. And yeah, we've done, actually I mapped it out for one of our clients. So I did the whole mapping of the places where we shot.
Wow. And what do you intend to continue doing? I mean, you've been doing this kind of art for how long now? Has it been
7
7 years? And do you have any like vision into where you would go? Because you've done a variety of documentaries, films. What's your vision going forward after the pandemic?
So we definitely want to explore the medium of web series, because web series is the future for filmmaking. And we do have a script in mind. So, we were just looking on doing some research and getting a funding to make that series. So I think that's the plan. But definitely we would like to, explore various crafts of the world, different cultures. So we're open to that, and we want to explore other topics like environment, climate change, gender related issues, so we want to broaden the uh, issues we work on.
Very interesting. In fact, I have a few friends who are waiting for the pandemic to get over. I met them in Mexico over the last few months. I was in Mexico when both India went into a lockdown and so did California. So I stayed there and I learned Spanish. And they're filmmakers, interestingly. And I told them about your work, and they're like, "We want to meet her. She's one of our
Yeah, I would love
amigas,"
to.
you know. So
Yeah, I would love to
I'll,
see their work.
I will introduce you. And interesting thing is they are starting to do videos of, the various pyramids and the canyons and variety of things. Mexico has a lot to offer. Every region of the world has a lot to offer. So I'm so grateful that I got a chance to talk to you. And yeah, I think it's so important that we continue this journey around the world. Do you have
Yeah.
any last words anything to say to our people who are listening on how they can
Yeah.
make productive use?
So, I did two things which really helped me this lockdown. One was I got myself an ukulele. It's a musical instrument. And yeah, I learned how to play it, and it seems I'm a natural at it. I have almost now I can play any song because I've learned few chords. So, that was something really nice to learn a new skill. And I've started reading about gender issues. So I got myself these two books. One is
Chimamanda.
Ngozi Adichie. Yeah,
Yes,
Chimam.
yes.
Yeah. So her book, A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Suggestions, is amazing because, I wanted to be introduced to what feminism truly means and it stands for. And follow up to that, I got this book called Women and Power, you know. So this book is really interesting. It says that how since Greek and ancient mythology, women's voices have been silenced. It was part of a culture that women never used to speak in public places. So now when I'm reading the history, it makes me realize so many things. Like, one of the small things which I observed is that when we talk, we use the word guys, hi guys. So it's not a gender neutral term to be using. And obviously, like, to know about how women were oppressed for centuries and how gender issues, it is so harmful not just for women but also for men. So I would recommend that, like, how I was always curious to learn more about gender issues. I am using this time to read more books to learn more. So I think I would advise people to do the same, to learn more and use this as a creative sabbatical period rather than taking it as a pandemic. So that's important, and stay safe and use a mask and sanitize yourself. Yeah.
If I may add to that, I just recently interviewed Dr. Vibhuti Patel, who grew up in Baroda, believe it or not, and is the head of women's studies at Tata Institute of Social Sciences in Mumbai. And she was
Oh.
talking about the challenges women are particularly facing right now during this crisis. Abuse has gone up significantly.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so these are times this is not a women's issue anymore. This is a human issue. And also what you mentioned about pronouns, like guys in English, in Espanol, the word is amigos if it is for men, amigas it's for women, and if it's a mixed group, it goes back to amigos. So yes, there's
Okay.
a very, very serious. And I was like, why is it amigos for a mixed group? And we never question these things. We assume this is how it is. So things need to change, and I'm so grateful you brought that up. It's not just a women's issue anymore. It's a human issue, And it is necessary, just like we have the Black Lives Matter or Dalit Lives Matter things. It is absolutely necessary that half of humanity should not be treated differently from the other half. I'm glad you brought it up.
True.
And
Thank you.
to those who are watching, it's not just about the skills. Of course, Nidhi is well known for her work in documentaries, filmmaking, and all. But we want to know all sides of them. And I'm so grateful you brought up the challenges many people are facing right now. And the good news is that, as you correctly pointed out, these are times when we learn, go deeper into the things, take the sabbatical, and you know, you never know what kind of a new world will come into in the next few months.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be
And
on
you
an
know, I
accelerator.
also see this as a way of like the planet saving us from destruction, because if you see the rate at which we were going, like global, like the global warming and the climate change, it had almost touched a point where things wouldn't be reversible, you know. But I think because of the pandemic, you know, there was a ozone layer hole formed which got closed. And I mean, there are many stories where rivers have cleaned themselves, you know, because there's no human, and like things have improved. So I feel, because let's say we don't use fossil fuels for, like we don't use vehicles and planes and all of this, so our carbon footprint will significantly reduce, you know, because this almost be a year till normalcy happens. So I think we as humans have earned ourselves maybe 20 more years to live on the planet because of COVID, because this 1 year of no lesser carbon footprint will really help the planet to, you know, take few more breaths and try to, you know, like heal itself. So I think once when I saw it in this way, I felt that it's good, it's a pause for the planet and it's good for us. So then no longer it kind of affected me the way it used to when it initially began.
Well, thank you for pointing it out. We actually see blue skies in Baroda again after I don't know how many years. The last time I saw blue skies was in 1992, and we are here in 2018. So it took so long, you know, like 26 years to see really blue skies again. So thank you for
Yeah.
mentioning that. And with that, we'll conclude another episode. And I'm so glad we talked
Thank
about so
you
many
for
good things.
having me. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Have a great day.
You too. See you.
Cheers.
Bye.